In this video, I'm going to give a very quick overview of the graphical user interface and how best to use it when Gimp is in the single Windows mode. I have Gimp open in the single Windows mode, and I'm going to come to File and I'm going to hit New and I'm going to click OK, and I will get the image area produced as you can see here. I'm now going to click onto the paintbrush, move into the image area, and I'm simply going to hold the mouse while I draw a squiggle. And if you look at that drawing, you can see it's doing it with a specific brush, and it's this brush here you can see. What I'll do now, I'll choose another brush. I'll choose this one that's a star shape, and I'll click in various places and you can see stars are created, and I'll simply drag it along and you can see the obvious shape that's been created using the various brush styles. I've removed the squiggles that I drew within the image area because I want to concentrate on the graphical user area. And I'm going to look here first. What we have is a dock, which is a container which can hold a collection of dialogs. And you can see we have some tabs. It is via the tabs that we gain access to the dialogs. We have this here, which is for the layers, and we have this here, which is for channels, and that's the one I'm going to click on. And you can see here that it gives me red, green, and blue. Now what you have here is the dialog for the channels tab, or you could refer to it all as the channels dialog. I'm going to click on the red, which means I'm removing the red color from the image. I'm going to click on the green. I've removed the green color from the image, and we now just have the blue. Now if I remove the blue, what we should see is black, because if there's no red, green or blue, you will get the black color. I'll now click on the red again, and you can see the image goes red. Now I'll click back on them all, and it's white, because if you have red, green and blue, when you're painting with light, you're going to get white. I'll go back here now and I'll click on the layers, and it's showing us that we just have a background layer. And here is an eye, and I'm going to click on that, and you should see that the image will be removed. As you can see there, the white background image has been removed. I'll click on it to bring it back into view. When using the Gimp graphical user interface, there are two words which are important, and that's the dock and the dialog. What we have here is a docking area, and the docking area has associated with it at the moment these three tabs. Now this tab here is selected, which is showing us below the one layer that exists in this image, and it's the background layer. So what we have down here is the dialog for that, and here if I click on this tab, we're looking at the dialog for that below. So we can say that a docking area contains dialogs. If I grab hold of this by holding the left mouse button and drag it here, you can see I've now removed the dialog from the docking area. And to show that it still works, I can click on these here, and you can see that the background image is changing to the appropriate colors. Now, my personal preference is not to have these dialogues floating around, as you can see here. So I would now shut it down by clicking here. And I'd go back over here, and if you look at this button here and you click on it, what you will see is a drop down menu. If I now click on to here where it says add tab, I will now come up here to where it says channels, click on that, and you can see the channels tab appears here, which now puts the dialog, which is what you can see below, back in the dockable area. So what you have here is an illustration of dialogs within a docking area, and of course you can remove them from the docking area and have them floating. If I come to here again and click on it and go to add tabs, you see there's quite a few things I could add to here if I so wished. Let's choose color map. Click on that and you can see a color map has appeared here. If I drag it away, There it is. I don't want it, so I will close it down. And if I ever want to dock anything else to a docking area, you now can see how that is achieved. When you're working on your image, it is useful to have as much of the display monitor used up for the image. And at the moment you can see this is the amount of space I am using on my monitor. What if I wanted the image to take up more space? Well, a very useful feature of Gimp in terms of a shortcut key that you should always be aware of is the tab key. If I click onto the tab key, watch what happens. You can see the docking areas and the dialog box have been removed, and you now only have in front of you the area for you to develop your image. But clearly it's not resized to take advantage of the extra area of the display. Once you have removed the docking areas and the dialogs, what you can now do is you can come up here to view, click on it, go to where it says zoom and choose this option here which says fit image in window. Click on it and you can now see that you've got more area of your display to work on. Now if you want now to have the docking areas and the dialogs back, what you do, you hit the tab key and it brings back the docking areas and the dialogs. The trouble, of course, it's covered up part of the area of the image. I'll press the tab key again and you can see we're back to using more of the display area. If I press the tab key again, we bring it back, and I might now wish, for example, to choose the bucket fill tool. Click on that, come in here having got this selected as black, click on there and you can see the area changes to black because I've changed the background color of my image to black. If I hit the tab key again, you can see that I've removed the docking areas and the dialogues. You have now a bigger area in which to develop your image, and you can clearly see that it's been changed to black. Something else to consider, if I grab hold of this channels tab and drag it into here, I indicated that I don't like having floating dialogues, as you can see here, and I recommended shutting them down and re-adding them to the docking area. Of course, the advantage of dragging them to a floating dialogue is if you had a 2-monitor setup, you could drag the dialogues onto your second monitor and free up the space on here. There are 2 modes for Gimp. There is the single Windows mode and there is the multi-Windows mode. In this video I've been looking at the single Windows mode. To switch between both of them, you come here to where the Windows menu is, click on it, come down here and you can see that it says single Windows mode. Now you can tell it's in the single Windows mode because there's a little X here. If I was to click on this menu item, the X would disappear and you would find yourself in the multi-Windows mode. Clicking on this again would bring you back to the single Windows mode. Now I'm going to look at the multi-window mode in the next video. Please consider subscribing to the channel and click the bell to ensure you get an update every time I upload a video. Maybe you would like to consider supporting the development of these free videos via Patreon. In addition, why not follow me on Twitter and also check out the supporting website.